Okay. Thank you for that. But anyway, so, and the other thing that I really, in a way, shouldn't complain about television shows, because complaining about them doesn't really have much effect. And again, it's my opinion. Your guys' opinion is totally valid. And this is just stuff you learn in basic internet etiquette, otherwise you're deemed an asshole, is opinions, as long as they're not hurting anybody, and as long as they're validating that other people's opinions can be right, I think voicing your opinion on the internet is fine. Even if it's an unpopular opinion, that's the whole point of voicing opinions, that not every opinion is going to be popular. And that's okay, because what's popular today may not be popular tomorrow. Sure, we all might say that this is really good right now, but there's always going to be that one person that sees it as wrong, or this is just not what we should be focusing on, and we'll either come to accept that or not as a valid point or whatever. But the thing with The Simpsons is, getting back to my main point about The Simpsons and why I don't watch The Simpsons anymore, is one, their constant use of new technology. It's like in every episode. Every new episode that I've seen lately of The Simpsons has new technology. And it is weird. It's just weird seeing Homer Simpson using apps and such, and I know like 90% of the population in America and other countries use that kind of technology, but that doesn't mean you need to use it every single fucking episode. It really gets on my tits. And the other thing that really gets me is how smooth the animation is. And I think that's one of the biggest problems, even if they still used technology and all that in almost every single episode and made jokes about it every single time they have a chance, I could still accept that. But it's that I think the animation has gotten too good for The Simpsons. I mean, The Simpsons started off as a really ridiculously shitty-looking animated thing on the not the Truman Show, God, not the Truman Show, on the Tracy Ullman Show. That's right. It started off as a 3 minutes animation thing on the Truman Show. Fuck, not the Truman Show. Tracy Ullman Show. Sorry, Truman Show just comes out easier. So the animation from when it first started was supposed to be shitty and not polished. And then they hit this stride. They hit this amazing stride between, like, I'd say 1993 and 1999-ish. Maybe even to the 2000s. But even then it started to get too good. But between that period of, like, 1992 and 1999... maybe even a little bit beyond 1999, maybe even into like 2003-ish. The animation in The Simpsons, in my opinion, was the perfect amount of, this is still a cartoon, but it's not drawn really poorly. It's just the right quality of crappy, or that kind of like, it's kind of like watching old movies in black and white where they're kind of grainy, and the graininess kind of adds to the feeling or the mood of the movie. But now I think everything is just, wow, holy shit, can I get out of this room? What the heck's going on? So that's my biggest two problems with The Simpsons, is it's not only weird to see them using all this new technology and referencing it all the time, but it's also just the fact that when they're holding the new technology, it really looks like the animators of the show are using that new technology, and it just doesn't have that timeless sort of feel to it, you know? I mean, even the episode where Homer tries to get into using the internet for the first time, and Bill Gates comes over to his house and essentially, like, runs him out of business and, you know, destroys the place up. They don't make an internet joke every single chance they get in the show. And I'm absolutely positive that there are episodes lately that do not have them using new technology and blah 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 blah. But I've seen like 4 or 5 episodes where they're just hammering it in. Just, it gets annoying. And I know I'm hammering this point in a lot, so it's a little contradictory for me to be poo-pooing them while also doing the same thing, but I don't know. Maybe it's just the nostalgic guy in me where I prefer the kind of choppy... Well, it wasn't even choppy, just... They are so colorful now, and the lines are so sharp, and just... I don't know. The celebrity appearances also seem... It seems like what they did was they made a caricature... Well, how do I put this? It seems like... I don't know, it just... It seems like nowadays when they put characters or humans into, like... How do I put this? I think recently there was an episode where Lady Gaga was part of the show. She was like a character that came to Springfield. And I know she's supposed to be a weird person herself, but she really, to me, didn't seem like she fit in to the Simpsons universe because she was so polished. Another cameo that I think it was better because it was unpolished was Mel Gibson. When Mel Gibson starred in the show in, like, I think it was 1998, I think? I can't remember. I think it was still in the 90s. Back when we still thought that Mel Gibson was pretty okay and not this drunken guy who yells at people on the phone. And makes... he's crazy, man. That's another good thing that South Park pointed out is... South Park pointed out how fucking batshit crazy Mel Gibson was before everybody knew. So anyway, now I'm thinking about that freaking South... Ooh, Maiden's Kiss. Yay! The only kiss that I'm gonna get this week, he says as he strokes himself sadly. By the way, why do these shields kind of look like Metroids combined with Link's Hyrule shield? Doesn't it kind of... Look at the shield. Doesn't that shield kind of... It looks to me like a Metroid that got combined with Link's Hyrule shield. But anyway. So I don't know. What are your opinions on The Simpsons? And one other thing. I think I've said this multiple... Ooh. That's a cool effect, even if it missed. Anyway, another show. Here's another show that I thought was really good, and that I thought drew a lot of its... Well, most of its... Well, not... A certain degree of its charm through its crappy drawing style, but also gave that its own unique feel, is Home Movies. Home Movies by Adult Swim. It's a really late-night running show, usually. They usually stick it on at like 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, usually when I'm up and awake. Home Movies has a really unique charm to it because its animation is so shitty. I mean, here's another example for all of you older animation people. How would you like it if Ren and Stimpy suddenly got really crisp and really clear and really realistic and... I don't know. It was that way constantly. Like, I don't have a problem with shows, like, suddenly divulging from... It's kind of like... Okay, so that was a bad example, Ren and Stimpy being really realistic, because Ren and Stimpy at times got to the point where they would do really realistic sketches of themselves, like, you'd really see... I think there's one episode where Ren is going crazy at night because he can't sleep, and you just see him looking at his hands, and his hands are really realistic, and that's okay. Because it's an image joke of, hey, this isn't normally how we draw this character, right? So it's funny and it's really creepy. Now imagine that character looking like that all the time. I don't know. So that's my problem. And Family Guy did the same thing too. South Park at least has kind of kept its original style. They're using computer animation, but they really try to make it look like that it's still the old South Park, you know? The Simpsons just... It's weird. And I know that South Park can do some really amazing effects, like that recent Coon trilogy where they had the Cthulhu thing. Yeah, the Cthulhu thing, that's not nearly anything that they could have done when they first started the show. That would have been way too out of the park there. Or it would have looked like just, you know, a normal cardboard cutout guy. But again, that's a divulgence from how South Park normally looks. And that's why it was so like, whoa, look at that. That's not something that you normally see in South Park. I don't know. Just, for The Simpsons, I just can't get over that. I'm sorry. If you drew The Simpsons in the old way and took out 90% of their, hey, look at us, we're using smartphone jokes, I would watch it again. Because it would feel, oh god, no. No, 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 not the killer mantises again. No. And by the way, one other thing that I will say is that, again, I have no problem with games or shows or anything like that getting a new look. Alright. I am really looking forward to some of the new HD remixes of, like, the Metal Gear Legacy thing that's coming out, where they're doing some of the... Wow, guy, you just fucking killed that thing. I think the new Metal Gear Legacy collection they're coming out with, that's going to have improved graphics, and that'll have essentially the same story, but it'll just look a little bit more polished and such. But I don't know. There gets to be that... There's that point where you're arguing of, you only like that old style because that's what you grew up with, you nostalgic prick. So, I don't know, I've ranted on about it long enough, I've probably pissed off enough people. And again, this is just my opinion, and quite frankly, no, crap. Quite frankly, I pride myself on the fact that my opinions are ever-changing and ever-evolving. Because nothing is set in stone. Okay, in 4 years, even in a year, somebody could make an argument where I would see things totally different and go, you know what, that's a good point. I can at least see how you would prefer The Simpsons in this way, or, you know what, that's a good point. Maybe Family Guy isn't as dogshit stupid as I think it is. So, I don't know. That's the whole thing. I don't know. I think I'm not cocky enough in order to say that my opinion is a solid, eternal thing of I am always going to dislike this no matter what anybody says. I don't know. If you like something, voice your opinion about why. Give a good reason. Because the stuff that I like, I really, really, really try to come up with a good reason for why I like it. And even then, there's always going to be faults with things that you like. In fact, I was just talking about to a friend of mine how stupid Angry Birds is, but that's a whole nother can of worms. Just because I don't know. Some things, man. But then, that's the thing. I got really, really, really riled up the other day when I saw some kid walking around. He must have been only about 9. He was wearing a Minecraft shirt. He had a Minecraft creeper hat. And he had an iPad. And he was playing Minecraft on it. And I just looked at him and I'm like, God, I want to hit you. Just... I don't know. I just don't know. Don't get me wrong. Minecraft is a good game. I recorded some stuff of it. I really liked it. But the thing about that is just... move on. Move on from that. Minecraft is not the greatest game ever invented. There will never be the greatest game. Just... I was talking about this just the other day, where I was saying, for example, Metal Gear. I love Metal Gear. I've got a Metal Gear Solid Foxhound t-shirt. Yeah, I'll wear that. I'll wear that with pride. But I could just tell that that kid is going to go through at least another 3 or 4 years where the greatest game ever, bar none, will be Minecraft. Bar none. You try to make an argument for why you dislike Minecraft? Fuck you. You are wrong. You're an idiot. You're a faggot. Shut up. I hate you because you don't like what I like. Alright? And I could just tell. I could tell. And that drives me nuts because even in something like Metal Gear Solid, where I love it, I love the characters, I can admit the flaws of it. I can understand that people don't like sitting through hour-and-a-half long dialogues and cutscenes and characters that seem to come the fuck out of nowhere. But I don't know. It just... I enjoy the characters, I enjoy the story, I have my fun, and then I log those characters and the memories away in my brain and in my heart, and I move the fuck on. And I can still go back and I can still play those games. I can still recognize them for the masterpiece that it was. And I can even still see parodies of it on the internet and go, hey, that's a fun reminder of Metal Gear. But the thing is, just try more things, kids. That's, if I can say anything to the generation, and I know this is really, again, contradictory to me going back and playing Final Fantasy II from 2004, but I've never played this game before. That's the thing. I've never played this game before. It is an older game, and I wanted to give it its respect and time for what legacy it's left. And admittedly, Minecraft is a game that has left a huge impact on the gaming world, or has had a huge impact in forming quote-unquote new gamers and such. But, come on. Flame Shield. I think, here's the thing. I think if Minecraft was a game where it had an actual plot and an ending, then it would be far, far, far less played. But, again, not going to be getting into that can of worms. I like how that flame shield is only usable on one character. Oh my god. So, there you go. I've gone on like a 30-minute rant about different things, and you know what? I don't have a problem with that, really. But, again, I don't want to drag it on. I don't want to keep going on and on about it, because I don't know, just... I'm glad I could take the time to say that, because I hope that it will... 217, there you go. That's a perfect segue out of this. 217, scary number for me. Don't like it. No, no, no. And I'll tell you exactly why, in case you guys don't watch my videos or this is your first time ever watching my video. 217 was the number of the scary-ass old lady in The Shining. You ever go back and, if you've never seen it, go and watch Stanley Kubrick's The Shining with Jack Nicholson. Jack Nicholson is amazing in that film. You can tell he's having fun with every minute of it, even when he's sitting there drooling like an idiot. You can tell he's just having fun with the role. Especially near the end climax. Anyway, so the thing is, when I was younger, I was watching that movie with my mother, and she had to run out to the backyard for something, and this kid goes into this room. No. Well, the kid goes into the room. He freaks out. He's got, like, strangulation marks on his neck. And his dad goes in to investigate. Jack Nicholson goes in to investigate. And the scene is just so creepy. Hold on, one second.